All right. Welcome to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I'm your host tonight, John. Welcome one, welcome all. If you could, please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. And today, you're in for a treat. I'm going to have Brian on. And then I'm also going to have Brother Scott on. And we're going to learn a lot about baseball. And we're going to learn a lot about a lot of things. That's for sure. I tell you, they are some very, very smart gentlemen. I listen to these other sports podcasts, like Bill Simmons. He's kind of the GOAT. I'm telling you, man, I ain't getting nothing out of that. I'm like, I am not hearing any insight. And then, like, I'm listening, and I know I sound like a pimp here, but I listen to Brian. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy knows a lot. And then I hear Scott, and I'm like, wow, this guy knows a lot. And I'm like, Jesus, man. I'm telling you, if you listen to them, you're going to learn something you have not heard before. And I can almost make that as an unequivocal promise. They're going to say something you do not hear in the sports media machine. It's really a pleasure to do things with them. I look forward to it a little later today. All right, let's do our sports recap for Thursday, April 10th. It should be up on Friday here. Let's talk about the biggest story in sports, the Masters. And I'm a big golf fan. I actually went up to Vegas this week to bet on golf. My picks were Morikawa, Oberg. I also took Justin Rose for a top 10. He's your leader as of the first day at 7 under. Scheffler at 4 under. Oberg at 4 under. DeChambeau won back at 3 under. First day, you can't win the tournament, but you can shoot yourself out of it. Dietrich, 7 over. Pendrith, 6 over, I believe. Great golfers. Sometimes it just doesn't figure out. I had Morikawa, and he had such a nice round going, and then things kind of fell apart at the end. He's at even par. He's still in there. Shane Lowry, another guy I took. Does sound like I took half the field, but no, I only took 4 golfers. To win, I took Cam Smith, I took Shane Lowry, I took Morikawa, and I took Oberg. I don't like taking the chalk. I don't like taking McIlroy, and I'm a big McIlroy fan. He had the round going. He got to the 15th. He hit 2 really wonderful shots, and then he pulled a Cantlay. Cantlay was on the back of the green at 15, and he put 2 in the water. Had to make a 6-footer to get a 7 or an 8. And McIlroy put 1 in the water. It is truly a fine line there. I also took the prop that the winning score would be 12 under or greater. Right now we're at 7. We'll see how it goes. I know the course tightens up the last 2 days, that's for sure. I think we need to have somebody in the 8-9 range by the end of the round tomorrow for me to have a good chance with that bet. All right, my favorite sport to always talk about is baseball. Let's get to it. Talk about what happened yesterday in the league, right? The league. They call the basketball association, and I guess we're going to call baseball the league. The Angels playing some great baseball. I give the devil his due. Brian talked about it. He talked about that he thought they made some really smart signings. I thought it was the island of misfit toys. I know it's still early, but boy, oh boy, they're 8-4. What are you going to do? The Rays 5-7. Angels win that game 11-1. They just played well. Jose Soriano got the win. The White Sox played the Guardians, lost 6-1. The White Sox are 2-10. I know I'm crazy, man. They are playing some competitive baseball. They are. I know they're 2-10. But man, they look like they're a team. I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but I'm saying this team's going to win 55, 60 games. And it doesn't sound that great, but they only won 40 last year. The Royals got above 500, beat the Twins 3-2. Rockies came back from a devastating night the night before, but Coors Field, so you give up 17 runs. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you what, if the Rockies ever have a pitcher who has an ERA of less than 4. Put the guy in the Hall of Fame. That place is just such a bandbox. Rockies win 7-2 over the Brewers. Brewers are 7-6 too. My Red Sox, Brian's Red Sox, evened it up. 7-7 is their record. They won at home against the Blue Jays, 4-3. And finally, the Braves. Marcell Ozuna hit a walk-off home run, won 4-2 over the Phillies in extra innings. You know, we're going to see what happens, what goes on this weekend. We're going to be talking to Brian, and let's real quick, just give me some time. Hey. This ain't goddamn Sports Center. Let's look at the matchups coming up. Royals are at the Guardians, the Pirates at the Reds, and I'm telling you, the Reds are playing some good baseball. I know they're 5-8, but man, I watched their 3-game series at San Francisco. They could have swept it. They won 2 out of 3. They're playing good. Braves roll into the Rays, and I know it's not a crucial series, but man, you're 3-9. You really need some love going on. The Yankees host the Giants, who are 9-3. Blue Jays run into the Orioles, which should be an interesting thing. The Blue Jays are 8-6. The Orioles are 5-8. Baltimore, we got to see some pitching, and Brian and I both talked about it before the start of the year. Nationals took 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. They're at the Marlins, who are 6-6. Red Sox roll into the White Sox, their brethren. We will see. Newcomb going for the Red Sox. Angels roll into the Astros. Division series. We're going to see how good the Astros really are. And the Tigers play the Twins. Phillies go to the Cardinals. Cardinals, I don't know. I know they scored a lot of runs against us, against the Red Sox, but man, oh man, something else there. Brewers play the D-backs. Rodriguez goes for the D-backs. Rangers at the Mariners. Interesting. And the Mets play the Athletics in that bandbox, and I know Brian and I are going to go at it on that one. That's always... That is just not a big league stadium. I don't really care what Brian says about the bounce houses and stuff like that. Oh, it's nice. I like seeing the fans in the outfield. Yeah, right, on grass. Yeah, okay. The year's 2025. Okay, sorry, Brian. Sorry. And the Dodgers, who have lost both road series to the Phillies and the Nationals, roll. They come home. They're playing the Cubs. We shall see. They're still 10-4. Still a good year. All right. If you could, though, please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Leave your comments, and I will see you soon.